Good day, everybody. Welcome back. You know what? I need to change some of my settings here. I need to change some settings. And then we'll get going. I think that's better. You folks tell me if you can hear me. I think you can. All right. So we're back at it. This is Craig Bragg here, and we're playing some City Heroes. And I got Canada Man sitting here waiting to go off and fight. Looks like somebody's sending me an invite. 1 second here. Let me go back to my game. Priestess Love would like to trade with you. Do you accept? Sure, why not? Uh-oh. She abandoned the trade. I don't know what she... Where is Priestess of Love? She gone. Must have missed her. Oh well, no biggie. I'm going to go 1 sec. I'm going to go full screen. And then you guys can see a little bit better what's going on. So let me go full screen here. Now we may get lucky and have the always awesome Irving Twin join us for tonight's stream. He can manage the comments for us. I've already invited him. He said he had to get rid of some evidence. I don't know what that means, but I guess I guess it means he'll be with us in a little bit. But hopefully we'll see him in the stream. I always love having Irving around. All right, we're in the game. Maybe you guys can tell me if you can hear the game a little bit better now. I don't know if the audio's more prevalent or not. Yesterday when I rewatched the stream, you couldn't really hear the audio. You could only hear me. Tiffany Monroe would like to read your fortune. Do you accept? Sure, read my fortune. You got a temporary power. What temporary power did I get? I don't know what that means. What was my temporary power? Let me take a look. That's some inherents. Where's my temporaries? The moon. What does that give me? Tell me what the moon gives me. Oh, I got some defenses. That's pretty cool. I like it. How long does it last? I don't think it lasts that long. I think it's like 30 minutes or something. That's all right. Temporary powers are nice. Hand it off to me. Princess of Love would like to trade with you. Okay, sure. Let's trade. What are you going to give me? She give me a pile of influence. Offer trade. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Priestess of Love. I just got a pile of influence. That's nice. Tell me where my influence is here. I must have tons though. Oh wow, that's huge. People be liking Canada Man. All right. So yesterday, I don't know where she went. Oh, there she is. I'm gonna go say thank you. Send her a message saying thank you. All right, so yesterday we did a costume change. If those of you didn't see it, Canada Man updated his digs a little bit. Oh, he's in a stealth bubble right now. Let me get out of it. Anyway, changed his costume a little bit. Changed his jacket. Put the maple leaf right flat smack in the middle of his chest. So I think he looks a little bit cooler. I'm not 100% on the pinstriping of his suit, but have yourself a great time there, eh? How do I send her a message? Send. All right. Oh, that's a pretty cool costume. Rift Star, he's called. All right. So yeah, I changed his costume, but I'm not 100% on the pinstriping on his tights there. I might change that up a little bit, but yeah. But let's just get adventuring. I'm gonna go to one of the contacts that I found named Tony Cord. because I don't think I've ever explored this storyline. So I think I'm going to go talk to him. See what kind of missions I can get. Where he at? Down here. Oh, he's all the way over there. I'm going in the complete wrong direction. Erp. Look at that goofy run going. Look at that goofy run. Run to jump to this bridge. Oh, just shy of it. Oh wow. I'm getting notifications on my phone, which leads me to think that Irving or someone else is sending me messages about the stream. So, hey, stop snatching that woman's purse. I'm not going to stop you, but stop it anyway. Yeah. So in a minute, when I get to Tony Court, I'll stop. I'll look in the chat and see what I'm seeing. What the hell's this dude standing in the park for? Hey, Tony Court, standing in the park. You look very suspicious there. All right, 1 sec here. Okay, I don't see anything in the chat. Oh, Irving's here. I gotta let him in. Hello, Mr. Twin.
How you doing, Craig?
No.
Or sorry, Canada man.
Canada. No,
drop your,
don't give up my secret identity.
No,
Are you?
I'm all right. I had to finish my ramen noodles and then go get my Captain Canuck Club shirt and my Canada hat. Right?
Oh, you gotta look the part.
I'm so happy for your character, and like I'm proud to be part of this country where we'll murder an old woman because she's like, fuck it. But you want to sell a barbecue rib? No, no.
It's true, eh? Yes, ma'am. We will euthanize you. Would you like a last meal? I want to go to Adamson's and get a brisket. No, ma'am. You can't go to Adamson's and get a brisket, but we'll kill you. Oh, my goodness. That's why Canada Man left Canada and went to Rhode Island. Paragon City's in Rhode Island, by the way.
I figured. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go back to sharing full screen. Do you have access to do you have access to pop up the messages, the comments?
No.
Can I give you that?
I don't know. That would be so cool, though.
Can you see the comments in the stream or no? Like in the StreamYard or no?
Yeah, of course.
But you can't click on them and hit show.
No,
how do I give you? There should be a way to give you permissions. You know.
There may be.
Let me go to settings. Guests. Yeah, there we go. Guests see fewer comments. Guests must authenticate. Oh, they don't have any other options. Play sound when guests enter, but that's it. You can't do anything else with your guests. That's pretty weak.
Dirty.
Well, you can read them out if it's all the same. I like showing them, but you can read them out.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem.
Thanks, buddy.
I will keep you apprised of what's
I don't
going
know.
on.
I don't know if anybody's watching, to be honest. There's 2 watching, which would be me and you.
Yeah, I think so at the moment, but that's okay.
That's all right.
It was kind of entertaining each other. All right.
It was kind of a late. Decision for me to actually go stream. I was just like, oh man, I had so much fun last night. I want to do it again. So there you go. All right, let me talk to this Tony Cord fellow and see what he has to say. I'm going to go full screen again.
Do it up.
And
and Tony.
Hey, Tony Cord, which I think is a reference to Ted Cord. Let's do business. All right, this clockwork scavenging is becoming a real problem in Kings Road. Those little metal menaces are taking street lamps, sewer grates, and everything else they can get their mitts on. I need you to discourage the clockwork scavenging in Kings Row. Otherwise, that whole zone is going to turn into a death trap. Break up the clockwork and the skulls. The clockwork have taken over a warehouse in Kings Row. Oh, everybody wants to send me to Kings Row. It's okay. I'm level 6. I can go Kings Row. And it's one of the skulls claim is on their turf. You have to get the clockwork out of that warehouse before the skulls get involved. Yeah, let's go do a door mission. All right, so I'm going to Kings Row. Bring out my drone. I'm not going to bring out my drone because I'm just going to have to resummon him. So where is my? Where is the train station? There we are. So you like the new costume, Irving?
I do, yeah. I like you sticking true with that shield, though. That's
I don't want to change the shield if it doesn't look like a, like a regular round Captain America style shield. It just would be silly.
no, yeah. It's basically perfect. I mean,
Basically perfect. What would you improve?
no, that's what I mean. Is off the top of my head, I can think of no improvements. I'm sure they exist, right?
Oh yeah, and you know what? Like this game, it's all about it's. They should basically call it Spandex Barbie because all
Yeah.
you're doing is like making new costumes. Like at least me, anyway. I'm an altaholic. I love making alt characters, and I
Mhm.
love farting around with my costume. I should have been a fashion designer for big Hollywood blockbuster superhero movies.
No, I feel the same way. Like, I started this game
Oh, did
a
you?
little bit. Yeah, yeah. But I don't have like I never played it. I just got into the character creation thing. It was like, oh wow, because I used to play DCUO.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good, and it is right. Like, the graphics are better, gameplay
Yeah.
a little smoother, but in terms of customization, this game blows it out of the water. Like, there must be trillions of combinations in this game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And they just kept adding more and more over the years. But yeah, and the one thing about DCUO is when you would get new costume items and you would put them on. Hey, there's some clockwork right there. Oh, they're a little. I could take him. He's level 7. Um, your costume would change with whatever you grabbed in terms of like gear, but you'd have to lock it if you want to maintain your original costume. You'd have to lock it, right?
Yeah, so you could equip the power of your new, I don't know, cape that you think is stupid, but keep the old cape that you liked, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I don't even know if gear in this game actually does stuff. Like, can you get like a belt of power that you have to wear?
Well, in the crafting elements of it, yeah, basically it's just called a belt of power,
Okay.
but it doesn't actually do anything. It's more like an enhancement that you're putting on your dude.
Yeah, like it beefs up your endurance or your damage output or something. But do
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
to
Yeah.
go with the new style as well?
No, it's not a style. It'll just be an item in inventory. It'll be an enhancement that goes on your power. So it's
Okay.
yeah. So they changed it slightly. I'm gonna get shot at again. Fuck you. Kings Row is such a scuzzy place. It just looks dreary. Looks like Hamilton. It looks like Pittsburgh.
Looks like Hamilton.
No, I shouldn't say that. But no, they've really done a really good job of making it look like kind of like
Scuzzy.
a rundown area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those buildings behind the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you got like everything's brown. You got power lines running through everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's all there's more industrial than there is retail. I don't think there's any retail here.
Oh, this looks like a power station.
Yeah, it probably is. Can I take him level 9? Okay, they're both minions. I should be able to take them. I gotta have a cop help me out, so that's good.
Oh,
oof, that would hurt.
Has that guy got an axe?
Yeah.
Oh, now he's taking out his gun. Okay, just in time. Good job.
Oh man, he hits hard. He's 3 levels higher than me, so. All right, so I gotta get to this warehouse over there. So I'm gonna hop this wall.
Hey, that's a fairly good jump.
And he moves pretty good.
Because, yeah, the other day you were talking about like power sets and what fits the character and what doesn't. And
yeah,
I don't know, jumping.
Yeah, jumping over like a 10-foot wall is not bad. for
Yeah,
a guy who doesn't have technically superpowers, right? He's just a good fighter with a shield. Um, no, but like super jump, you're doing like Hulk leaps. Like you go like 500 yards across the city
oh,
with
okay,
one
okay.
jump.
Yeah.
So, and I have characters that have that power. I actually like that power a lot, but it doesn't suit him. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, like I mean, if it was like double the jump he has now, or there was levels to it, right? You could take an early level because he should be a little superhuman, like a Canadian super soldier, a budget Captain America, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, like the Nazis gave their soldiers meth.
Oh, man, they're piling up on me here.
Cana-
Get some.
Cana- Canadian Army just gave their soldiers a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, that's right. And some like some craft dinner. Is there another guy around here? No, I think I got them all. Okay. I made it to level 7. That's all right.
And does level 7 grant you a new power? I
Oh,
imagine
it's just gives me enhancement slots. All the even levels give you powers.
Okay.
Odd ones just give you enhancement slots, which are helpful. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as exciting as getting a new power.
And I mean, did you make this guy yesterday?
Uh, Either yesterday or the day before. I was just farting around in City Heroes. I feel like playing City Heroes. Then when I was able to get this name, I'm like, oh my god, that name's awesome.
Canada, man.
What the Canada, man?
And what was I hearing before I jumped on there that someone was giving you stuff?
Well, they gave me some influence, which is basically the in-game currency. She gave me like $69,000 in cash.
Is that a person that did that?
Yeah, one of the players. Maybe
Really?
she liked my costume or something, or she was priestess of love or whatever. Must have liked my costume or something. I was just standing there AFK, and she says, "Hey, you know what? Here's some money." She must be like a high level, or she has piles of cash or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is nice, It helps me to buy some better enhancements and survive a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if influence is trading higher than the Venezuelan dollar.
Probably. Well, I don't know if this ever got into the MMO banking, or not banking, but farming market. Remember people used to pay like $60 and get 10 million gold in WoW or whatever, and they'd hire like Chinese gold farmers.
Yep.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I don't know if they did that for City Heroes ever. I don't know if City Heroes ever got that big. Also, influence is pretty easy to come by. You get it every time you kill something.
Okay.
And when you complete missions, you get it too.
Well, yeah, that was the funny thing about the World of Warcraft economy. That World of Warcraft money was actually literally worth more than Venezuelan dollars when people were buying it for real American dollars.
That's funny.
And yeah, and like in an economy where the money is technically infinite, it comes out of the ground.
Well, it's like our money too, right? Our money is technically infinite.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not
They
like
just keep printing more. They just keep
not
printing more if they want.
Yeah, it's not like governments could ever go bankrupt, right?
Exactly. They're too big to fail. Any more bad guys here? No, I think I got them all. But I got a badge. What was my badge? I earned the negotiator badge. Ooh, badges mean nothing. Some people are badge hunters though, like to collect badges.
Right.
They'll do all these different missions just to get all the badges. So, how you been, man? Did you work today or
No,
off today?
thank God. Yeah. It's everything's getting, if they let you work, it's getting far busier because all the work is now being consolidated in smaller and smaller groupings.
Oh,
And
really?
Christmas. Well, I mean, yeah, like let's say, you work at a small retail store and now that's closed, so Walmart gets busier.
Right.
It's just the way it's going to go. And also, it's like peak season, which is the politically correct way of saying Christmas is coming,
Yeah.
right? So everyone's super busy. And yes, we will be asked to come in Saturdays, maybe even Sundays, but I'm going to fight real hard not to. And you, I remember hearing you say you're starting your vacation.
Yeah, I'm off for a week and a day. So I'm off all next week and then Monday as well. I had some vacation I had to use up, so
Right on.
otherwise I lose it. So
Oh, that's terrible.
yeah, there we go. Quit beating up cops in my city, you douchebag.
I tried to. It's like a death sentence when I try and shill something on Twitter.
Why's that?
I don't know. Like it's like my Twitter reach is my general social media reach is so bad that it's actually negative. Yesterday, without me saying a word, you had 8, 10 people watching. Today, I said, "Hey, come watch Canada Man kick ass and chew bubblegum." And now it's literally just us. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's you know what? Like I said, it was like a last minute thing. Like at 9:40, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna play. I'll live stream too. And so if I had given people some time,
Mm.
so yeah, but to level up and spend some of that influence to get some better enhancements. 2 new
Fox,
enhancement slots.
Fox Cantor says, "Enjoy your vacation. You deserve it."
That's my boss, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's
You're
a friend of. He's my boss and a friend of mine. I shouldn't just refer to him as my boss. He's my friend too.
I was gonna say you're a braver man than I. I don't generally tell people at work that I do this on the side.
Oh no, he's a big nerd like me. He's
Okay.
into gaming and that sort of stuff. So, um, oh, new contact, Shauna Stockwell. That's the chick I saw by the train station. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna buy myself some enhancements. All right, what do I got here that I can sell? I can sell that.
Your boss slash friend literally showed up to say enjoy your vacation and then fucked off.
It's all good. I'm fine with that. We were talking about Mandalorian through Google Hangouts, and I just sent him. I think I might play City of Heroes on live stream tonight. So he probably was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll go check it out." That's nice.
There is a message for you.
He is a subscriber to the channel though, so that's pretty cool.
No, that's yeah.
Yeah. He's a buddy of mine. We hang out a little fair bit and play games together on Tuesday nights. But I haven't played games on Tuesday nights in probably 4 or 5 weeks, so I should probably make an appearance. We do the online game thing right now, so but I don't know. Just haven't been feeling it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So what can I put in here? Resist damage, defense sets. So what do I have right now? Defense buff. And this will give me defense. And this one, I already have one in there. Okay. So let me I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay.
Oh, that's right. And you took True Grit last time. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. How many did I have? I have memory of a goldfish. So I need 3 accuracies. Okay.
And yeah, I forget. There's like several different archetypes and then subclasses in the archetype, like bruiser and tank and stuff like that. Is that?
Yeah. So there's tankers, there's brawlers or scrappers, I should say. There's brutes, which are kind of like they were part of the City of Villains set, so they're kind of like a mix between a scrapper and a tank.
Okay.
They have this thing where basically they got good defense and decent DPS, but it gets better the more damage they take. Whereas tanks get harder to hurt the more damage they take. Like, so basically, the more they're attacked, the tougher, the more resilient they get.
Right.
But they don't do a lot of damage, tanks, which seems kind of crazy to me when you got a big Hulk type guy and he punches somebody, but he's not doing as much as a guy, who's, a street fighter. But that's how tanks work. Brutes are kind of like, they got more DPS than the tanks, not as defense, but they get better damage the more enraged they get. They're stalkers, which are kind of like scrappers, but they use stealth, so they get a really powerful attack when they're stealthed. There's like masterminds where they bring out pets. I've got I think one of every class except maybe defender, because I don't typically play the defenders. But yeah, there's a bunch of different classes.
And defenders more for like group settings where you're going to be the guy getting in front of people.
You're giving buffs and debuffs to enemies. You're giving buffs to allies, debuffs to enemies. You're healing. That's kind of the defender role. They still have attack powers, but they're just not as good at like ranged attack as, say, a blaster, who is all about ranged damage. But they're very squishy. They're like glass cannons, they call them, right? So basically, if someone gets up in their face, they can get taken out in 5 seconds, kind of thing. So, but yeah. All right, so I need a defense buff. Let's get that guy right there.
And it's a shame, this game, that it's so cool.
Yeah.
And it's just never got popular, like super popular.
Yeah.
It obviously has some kind of cult fan base that will never stop playing it, right?
Right, exactly.
But also, it'll never be upgraded.
Well, there are still people working on like mods because they have the source code. So, and NC Soft has said they don't really care. So, yeah, I mean, it's very well, it's likely that they will. I don't need to get this warning every time. Let me turn that off.
And Cro-Magnon is a friend of yours, yeah?
Yeah, that's Justin. That's my buddy Justin.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. He says, don't worry. Homecoming has broken all the archetypes. Tankers are really good DPS now.
Yeah.
More so than brutes, usually, as their area of effect is better. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, they've changed masterminds and they've changed stalkers as well. So stalkers used to be really good for that first initial strike from stealth.
Yeah.
And then after that, they were basically useless. So they basically have one trick. And they changed that. So now they're actually, kind of comparable to scrappers. And they still have that trick. But yeah. Because they were like the least popular. They were when they first introduced the class, they were the least popular class being played, stalkers, because they only had that one trick and they were kind of useless outside of it.
More useful in a group setting again, right?
Yeah, they really are.
Because I mean, this is a silly little story from DCUO, where I was trying to run a mission early level. I had some sorcery guy who flew around and shot little fucking lights from his hands and shit.
Yeah.
And there were these dudes, because it's like, I don't know if you're playing on like a person versus person server.
Yep.
Where there's bad guys that it's a player who's just like, I feel like beating up this other player, and they'll fuck you up, right?
Yeah. That was the problem I had with WoW too, because they had like zones that were PvP, and you just walk in there to get a mission, just standing there talking to somebody, and someone just ganks you for no reason. I'm like, that's kind of annoying, Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. But that's exactly what these guys were doing. Like, they were like level 30, and they were hanging around this area that they knew was like for level 4 and 5 players to get their mission.
Just griefers.
Yeah, and they would just gank everybody that came through. And the thing is, for somehow I had beefed up my flight power so that I had like super fast flying.
Yeah.
And I got in there and these guys were just kicking my ass suddenly. So I just flew away. And then I tried to fly back to get the mission, and I realized they were beating up some other guy. So I was using my fly in at super high speeds, blast them what little I could, and fly away before they could get me, and just kept doing laps around the block doing this until me and that guy actually beat them. And then he was sending me messages. Thanks, man. Those guys have been hunting me all night. I was like, hunting you? What the fuck?
It's insane. Like the amount of griefing. I think that was probably one of the problems with MMOs. So it became one of these things where people were like, I'm not going to pay a subscription to go online and get harassed by other players who are just there to grief. So a lot of MMOs moved away from the subscription play, and went to free to play, or what have microtransactions or what have you. But um, but people just like, if it's free, it has no value to me. So why should I come on? Like, I don't know why MMOs failed the way they did, but games like City of Heroes, you have to want to go into a PvP zone and get into combat with other players in order to experience that. It's mostly PvE. It started out as just PvE, so they didn't even have PvP when it first started. But yeah, and I prefer that, truth be told, because I'll be honest, I like soloing. I'm not a big what do you call it, group party player. I know that's kind of weak, but it's just the way I like to play it. I you know I was always like, I'd rather read a Captain America book than an Avengers book. You know what I'm saying? I'm not big into the ensemble cast kind of thing. I'd rather read about a lone hero kind of thing.
Games like this, yeah. But if you're, I don't know, like when I play games like this, I role play it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't do things that Canada Man wouldn't do, and I don't give him powers that don't fit Canada Man just because I feel like it. Like,
just so he's more, just so he can survive better. Yeah, that's not me either.
So if I'm playing with a player who is like that, that actually tends to work, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally cool with that. Like, what do you call that game? Call of Duty?
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones, I think, was Modern Warfare 2, because of all the paired missions, right? Where they're 2-player missions. You have to have 2 players to play them, basically.
Yeah.
And you both have to be good at it. You have to like know your roles and cover each other, and you can't just like, it's no longer a run and gun shooter like it is online. It's far more strategic. So I actually, yeah. When all the players in the world are there, it's gonna suck. When you have the right couple of players, it's gonna be grand.
Yeah. For me, like, it's really just about running around having fun. The bad guys.
Like in DCUO, the good guys, like, headquarters / spawn points are police stations, right? So I walk out of the police station, and across the street, there's one level 30 villain just pounding the shit out of every player that's there. And by the time I get across the street to help, more than half of them are dead. Like, and it's just like, come on, guys, really?
Yeah. That's.
Oh, and talk about grief. Your buddy there, Justin, was telling us about EVE Online.
Yep.
When we were playing, and I've recently, a while ago, I picked up a real cheap. What's that game called? Elite Dangerous.
Oh yeah.
And picked up some random mission. Didn't realize what I was looking at when I went, and I was like, wait a minute, why is it going to take me more than a real life hour and a half to get out to this fucking space station? And it's this pilgrimage part of the game that, like, everyone does it eventually. Where, yeah, like, even at light speed, you're just traveling for over an hour. But apparently, there are fucking griefers that will travel for over an hour, wait there, and when you show up, they'll just kill you.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that is fucking brutal.
Did that happen to you?
No, I had turned around. I was like, no, I'm not even fucking bothering. I'm just canceling this mission.
Yeah.
Right. Paid the fine and everything. Like, it's like, I just want to run a few missions before bed. I don't want to fucking fly in a straight line for 90 minutes. What the fuck? You out of your mind? Cool game, though. Honestly, it is in a similar vein.
It's like an MMO kind of thing?
Yeah. It's like, there's live players and there's an environment, and yeah, you can run missions together. But it's more like you can be like a pirate or a cop or a trader or a smuggler.
Just a smuggler, yeah. That's cool.
But they're all sort of the same idea. Like, it's a grinder game
Yeah.
where you're grinding it out to get the next thing that you want, right?
Yeah.
Here you're looking for another power and another upgrade, and there you're looking for a bigger ship and a better laser on the mounted on the side, right? Like,
Yeah.
but they are grinding games, and if you find the one you like, grinding games are fucking incredible. If you're not enjoying the game, it's not necessarily that you're not enjoying grinding.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't played Elite Dangerous, or what's the other one? What's the other one you mentioned? The other space game you mentioned?
Eve Online.
Eve Online. I haven't played either one of those. I should try. I've seen some videos of Star Citizen. I know that's still sort of in development, but there is stuff available to play right now for Star Citizen.
Right.
That looks kind of cool, but to me, it kind of looks like No Man's Sky, but with extra steps. It looks like more involved No Man's Sky, and I'm like, I like No Man's Sky. It's kind of fun, but
well, apparently all the promises that the guys made about that game that they failed on launch.
No Man's Sky, yeah.
They've been updating it for free the whole time, and finally got to that point.
Yep, it's amazing now. It's actually really, really solid game now.
Okay, so Justin says there's a meme with that station. It's called Hutton Orbital, that 90-minute trek. They tell noobs they can get a free Anaconda there. And Anaconda is a very expensive, big-ass, badass ship.
Yeah.
They tell them there's a free one there to get them to make the flight. Needless to say, no Anaconda. Nick Wood said, whoa, way back playback. And,
Nick's here too. Hey, Nick. Hey, buddy.
Both are great. I think that's Eve and
Elite Dangerous, yeah.
And Fox Cantor's returned. I made that run once in Elite when I first started. Took forever. Yeah, like it's nuts. It is crazy.
I'll have to level it.
I still haven't done it myself. Anytime I see that, like in the missions, I'm like, nope. Nick Wood, I'm creeping.
Well, welcome to have you there, Nick. It's good to know you're watching. That's cool. All right. I don't want to go to Perez Park. That place is dangerous. So what's this other one?
But
I just thought some. I know I'm a superhero, but okay, I'll show you Perez Park. You'll see what Perez Park is like.
What is it like? Is it like a Regent Park?
Yeah, it's like Central Park, like in the 70s.
Oh.
And it's run by two gangs. So.
Who doesn't love ED? Oh, wait. Nick.
Erectile dysfunction?
But Elite Dangerous?
Yeah, Elite Dangerous.
Oh, wait.
Can never make that jump. All right.
See, yeah, there should be like levels to the jump power where like level 1 you can make that jump.
There are other powers you can get that sort of boost it slightly. So for instance, there's a I might take some of the pool powers at level 8, like combat jumping. Combat jumping adds some defense to me, and it also increases your jump a little bit. So yeah, instead of jumping 10-foot high walls, I can jump like 13, 14-foot high walls. So.
Nice. Oh, I bet you get like a jump attack too then, right?
That's part of that pool, yeah. But that particular power in that pool, combat jumping, is just a defense buff, but it's a good defense buff. It makes it harder for you to be knocked down, which is good.
Oh yeah, okay.
But yeah.
See, and that for me, I think that falls in line with the power set style type.
Yeah, if I don't take super jump, then it would fit. But if I ever took super jump, then yeah, it would be a little bit ridiculous. I'll go back to City Hall real quick. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go back to the costume shop. I'm sort of losing. I'm losing favor with this pinstripe tights. I think I might change it up a little bit.
Pinstripe.
You can help me design it.
What's really interesting is I don't know if you did it on purpose, if it's completely subconscious or has nothing to do with it. The black background with the maple leaf is my flag hanging in the back.
I know, yeah. Yeah, but don't you have some blue in that flag? Isn't there
Yes.
blue in that flag? See, I was thinking of doing that actually. I was thinking of putting some blue in the flag or in the costume, even though blue's not really a Canadian color. But
No.
there
Yeah.
was a flag design though that had 3 leaves on it, and it had blue in it.
Red and white, but never blue away.
Yeah,
Is that from fucking Tusk?
maybe I don't know.
No, but my buddy made it. He's a big fan of what was it? The Spanish Civil War, I think, the Catalan Revolt.
Yeah,
So it's the Catalan colors, black, red, and blue.
very cool. See, I can't really even see much difference here. I should put some more contrast in it just so I can see what the difference is going to be. There is one that kind of looks like the flag where it's got same color on the sides and then a slightly different color in the middle.
Right. But you can choose all your colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool. Well, that's not bad either. Blend. Oh, that's a blend. Never mind.
See now,
the cell shading kind of throws things off because it puts these like shadows, like these dark line shadows.
Yeah. See, but if your Canada man is Quebecois, having that big cross pattern through the middle,
there is a fleur de lis. I could put a fleur de lis on there. That's kind of neat too, but I don't know if it doesn't really fit. See, there's that.
There it is. Yeah.
I could do that.
Let's see the back now. It's mostly just hid under.
Yeah, it's basically black and gray right now, but I can make it. I can make it any colors I want. So I could do black. You know what? Let me try something here. Black. Let's do red. No, keep that black. Make this red. Make the chest detail. We'll make it blue and make that gold. Yeah, I don't know.
See, the blue makes me think too much of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and
that's true. Yeah.
I'm not happy about that at all.
All right, so let me change that to red again.
Well, I mean, not to be derivative, but Captain Canuck is largely white, his costume.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, they did have a different. They did have a different one where he was. He's kind of like this. He had like a black and white, and he had sort of like a jacket thing going on. I remember just reading that one. It's like, what did they do to his costume? It looks nothing like it. That razor kind of looks like Deadpool.
Oh, a little bit.
Starshot, no. That's not bad. It's just basically us. There. Okay. So.
Ooh, so make that red part black.
White. Or black?
Yeah, and make the black part white. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe like a light gray.
Okay, yeah.
And then the lower to half, I'll do the same sort of thing. Lower body.
Right, because that maple leaf pops on the black, especially with the white border separating it, right? Like that's.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm supposed to be handling the chat, and they've been talking amongst themselves without us.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Or are they dissing us?
No. Last I saw was Justin saying "super jump, bruh."
No, I'm not doing super jump. It doesn't fit the character. The character's just. Yeah.
Artemis has a crazy jump, if I remember.
What's that?
Artemis has that's fucking awesome. Those pants, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hot for that. Seriously.
The other one could be that might be better though.
Oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah, yeah. Same vein.
Okay. And now I might change what he's got going on in his face.
Artemis has a crazy jump, if I remember. I don't know if that's an Elite Dangerous
No,
reference.
that's City Heroes.
Okay.
Fox Cantor plays he made a City of Heroes character called Artemis, which was based on our Mutants and Masterminds characters.
Oh,
Who's basically he was like an anthropomorphic fox man with this. He had the ability to basically he had chameleonic fur, so he could change the color of his fur so he could blend into the background and stuff. It was kind of neat. But yeah, he made a City Heroes character, and I think he gave him super jump. Yeah.
Costin says Canada Man is evil, like Craig Bragg.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Nick Wood asks if this is with cell shading. Justin
Yeah.
tells yes.
That's
Fixes
the
some
stuff.
of the aged look, Nick says. Cro-Magnon says there's experimental settings too, so you can do more. Homecoming is experimental. Homecoming is a bit of a disaster. Like I said, they're just talking among themselves here.
Yeah, that's cool. That's all right. You know what? I might do that and then give him some goggles.
And they're saying that there isn't much you can't do solo anymore. Probably a product of it being so empty.
Yeah, could be. All right, so let's make those. Keep those black. Let's look at that close up. I don't like his face. I did like his face, but now I don't.
I'm like, I'd personally wear those goggles. I don't know if they suit Canada Man.
Yeah, you're right. They might not. And also, his hair looks goofy with that mask that he's wearing.
Mm.
So you know what? Let's go back to.
Can we get that going again? I've been locked up for years, says Nick Wood. Is that
He's talking about mutants and masterminds.
yeah.
Yeah, I really want to play it again. I'm not gonna lie. I really do want to play. Oh, I can't change my body?
Is that tabletop?
Yeah. Tabletop RPG stuff. Yeah. I want to get rid of those goggles. I don't like them.
Ooh. Just a straight up domino?
Yeah, that's what he had before. Now, I want to make sure my gloves are matching. Hold on a sec here. Because I have a feeling the gloves might be darker than the than the boots.
You are going with a pretty deep red overall. Like,
Yeah, I might lighten it up a little bit. Make the boots a little bit lighter too. And then the jacket. Should I change the jacket too? Maybe make the jacket. Oh, jacket's already that color. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. And I think we're on with Canada Man. I think you can move forward.
Use Cortex instead. What's that?
It's an RPG system. Yeah, I could adapt Mutants and Masterminds to Cortex. It'd be very simple. I just got the core book for Cortex Prime. So Cortex was the system that they used to make a bunch of RPG games like Supernatural. You know the TV show Supernatural.
Yep.
So they made an RPG game, Supernatural. The Firefly RPG game used the Cortex system, and yeah. So they released what they call Cortex Prime, which is basically the basic rules of Cortex that you can use it to build your own adventures, your own games, your own role playing games.
Oh, right on. You can just take anything, any mythos you want, and apply it.
Yeah, it's basically an engine, right? Kind of like GURPS or what do you call it? Fate or whatever. But it's actually a really cool system. It's got some really, it's very intuitive, very cinematic, and it's not. I don't want to say it's rules light, but rules are kind of secondary to storytelling and role playing. So, whereas
That's
things
how
like D&D,
always.
it's a lot. It's a really sort of crunchy numbers game at this point. It's like full top, mature and mathing, and other systems. Oh, I'm rubbering here.
Yeah, no, I'm losing you a little bit. Roboting some.
Keep rubber banding. I don't know if you guys can see that on the stream. He runs forward 20 feet and then he bounces back 20 feet.
I lost you entirely a little bit there. Robot Craig. There.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's what they've called.
It's my shitty internet connection. Actually, Melina's probably watching something on YouTube, and that's probably affecting it. Take this briefing seriously.
Fox Cantor suggests maybe Craig Bragg has lost his GM powers.
Don't say such terrible things. No, I don't think I've lost my GM powers. It's just, I don't know what it is. I've been in a funk. And GMing. I don't know. I want to play again. I want to GM again. I don't know what it is. I'm in a funk and I'm a little anxious about it. I get anxious about the stupidest things. It's so weird. Anyway, Circle of Thorns. You get to see Perez Park now. I got to touch it. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to turn this into a psychology lie on the couch session, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I've just been kind of like in a funk and kind of anxious and I don't know. It's kind of weird. So this is Perez Park. It's a war zone, they call it, because it never got rebuilt after the Richti invasion, and so it's been taken over by the Hellions on this side of the zone, and then on the other side of the zone, it's the Skulls. And I think, oh no, they're right around my level, but that's way too many for me to take on alone. I'll die like in 5 seconds.
Right.
That damned guy, he can shoot. These two damned guys, they're bosses. They can shoot fireballs and shit. So I don't know if I want to fight them.
But they won't cross the street, apparently.
They just don't see me yet. They'll come after me if I go too close to them. I'll circle this. Our city, it's all Hellions over here. I'm looking for Circle of Thorns. They're always, oh man. You kind of need a group to come in here. I'm not going to lie. Like soloing in this area, unless you're flying everywhere. See, I just almost got hit. Unless you're flying everywhere, it's kind of bad. I might get a group to come back in here, but I just thought I'd show you what Perez Park looks like.
Oh, yeah.
This is Perez Park. The mobs are always in groups of 10 and 12 and stuff like that.
Holy fuck!
Yeah. So because it's been taken over by the criminal element of Paragon City.
These hooligans look like they're up to no good.
Oh yeah,
hanging around in parking lots.
Reconnaissance officer. This is Perez Park, as evidenced by the conspicuous SWAT entrances you used to arrive here. The gang you encounter here will be much larger. This is no lone wolf, see? Unless you enjoy taking trips to the hospital, get some friends, this ain't no walk in the park. See my report for more information. History, Perez Park. Hostiles, strength 7 through 14, suggested of squad parameters 3 to 5. The maze. So that wooded area that I almost walked into, it's a total maze. You can't see, like, you don't know where you're going. It's so easy to get turned around and get into dead ends and stuff. So yeah, what I'm looking for are Circle of Thorns, and I should get a group to go and hunt some Circle of Thorns. How many do I have to get? They want me to get 10 of them. I'm going to return to this contact. I got to go back to him. I'll go back to Tony Cord. Yeah, I'm not gonna brave Perez Park on my own. It's not worth it. I'll just keep dying. So maybe I'll get a group. Maybe Fox Cantor wants to log in and help me out. He can bring his character Artemis in. I don't know what level Artemis got to. I think Artemis is like level 20 or something though. All right, where's Tony Cord? Actually, he's not far. He's just up the hill over there. Start rubber banding again. I like the cell shading. I think it looks better, truth be told. You can change it so that the outlines are really, really defined. It's like really thick outlines. There's
Yeah.
also like Cro-Magnon was saying, there's a lot of other experimental settings you can do.
Hmm.
They're too weak. I'm not fighting those guys. They're wasting my time.
Yeah, cell shading was pretty neat when I first saw it. I can't remember where I first saw it.
Champions Online had it, which was another super MMO, which was okay. It wasn't bad. I don't think it had the same costume options that City Heroes did, but it was kind of cool. Thanks for keeping the peace in Kings Row. You show a lot of promise, my friend. I wish Paragon City had more heroes like you. My researchers have just churned out some new gadgets. I'd like you to be the first to benefit. Oh, he's got stuff to sell me, does he?
Well, he is a businessman. When you walked up to him, he said, "Let's do business."
He doesn't have much to give me. All right. Which
Not a very
contacts?
successful businessman, maybe.
There's a younger partner in the summer who might. She's dealing with the skulls. Hellions. I like Hellions more than skulls. I don't know why.
Like them as in dislike them?
Like them as in fighting them. I enjoy fighting them more.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you dislike them more.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm doing clockwork. This clockwork scavenging is becoming a problem. I've already been to Kings Row. Got reports of some clockwork down in an old abandoned Jovian storage warehouse complex. Sources say they're using it as a staging area for a massive attack to the city. Let's do that one. Another Kings Row mission. If I'm going to Kings Row for this guy all the time, why is he in Atlas Park?
Because he's been banned from there.
Yeah. Well, because Kings Row is too much of a slum. He wouldn't go there. I'm a rich businessman. Why would I hang out in Kings Row?
I'll have my proxy do my business for me.
Right. It's funny. Every time you walk by those little police drones, they say the same thing. 7835 code 16 or something like that. They say the exact same thing every time. Like, there's a lot of 7835s. There's a lot of code 16s.
It's constant crime. It's always crime. It's just the crime general code.
Yep.
I also find it a little funny that you're a superhero, you got a costume, a domino, and a shield, then you just hop on the subway.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's just the easiest way to travel. You can get to like so many multiple zones with the subway. If you have a super group base, you can set up teleporters so you can go to whatever zone you want. You gotta invest resources into that. Bases are kind of cool. Actually, Cro-Magnon, Justin, he made a really cool base for our group. He used to play this all the time. I don't know if he still does or not, but all the way over there. I'll go through here.
And Justin says, "City of Heroes, crime rate 100%. Who'd fucking live there?"
I know, right? You think I'm rubber banding again. You think that maybe some fuck off. Some of the criminals are just masochists because, like, okay, you're a criminal and you're going to the city with the highest per capita rate of superheroes. Why are you doing crime there unless you want to get your ass kicked all the time? I think it would be crime free, you know?
Well, it was an interesting take in that movie and originally the comic book Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
That it's the immersion of the superhero.
Yeah.
That
Emergence?
creates emergence, that creates supervillain.
Clockwork.
Right, like Lex Luthor wasn't a bad guy until he was like, you know what, Superman has too much power.
That's right. Only I should have this much power. Thank you. That's the problem with Clockwork. You got powers that'll like make you just stand there and do nothing.
If they had offensive capabilities, that'd be
Well,
very
no,
dangerous for you.
they do. They they shoot lightning bolts. Kind of annoying. Man, there's a lot of skulls beating up on some cops. Sorry, I got a mission. You guys are just gonna have to deal with it yourselves.
This is for Adam Skelly.
Oh, I made a video just recently today about Adam Skelly. I don't know if you watched it or not.
Of course I did.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you saw it or not.
And Noble Toys also opened.
Noble Toys.
Yeah. It's like a comic and collectibles shop, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good. So business owners are finally standing up.
Well, that's two, right? Like
Yeah.
it's Domino's, and we're hoping.
I think you know what? Maybe it just came down to they needed somebody to to stand up before. Like nobody wanted to be the first one to say, "Hey, this is wrong." And once somebody was able to do that, the people were like, "Yeah, you know what? I agree." And I've been sick of this as well, so I'm going to speak up.
Yeah, I hope it takes. I saw something with Adam Skelly and his GoFundMe,
Yep.
and it's up to about 300 grand right now.
Wow.
And he said that's not for him; that's for everyone.
Legal. Oh yeah, for legal for anybody who does this sort of stuff. Yeah, that's cool. So any business that faces legal challenges can draw from this fund. I guess they probably have to apply for it for whatever through the foundation or whatever group is actually managing the fund. But I like the maps in this game. Like it looks so like they did a lot of good detail, and it looks even better with the cell shading. It looks like you're walking in a comic book.
Yeah, because that's basically what it is. That they're taking like hand drawn images and laying them over top of the 3D model.
Yeah,
and it's very cool.
A lot of times when they do it, it doesn't look that great, but they've done a pretty good job here.
This is just awesome. You're just like punching drones out of the sky.
Yeah, little rusty drones.
Some guy with a remote control is going, fuck.
Damn it, another one? You ever watch that drone racing stuff?
No.
There's videos online of people who like basically they make their drones for speed, and then they race them through these like obstacle courses inside warehouses and stuff, and they're all done up with like LED lights and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm curious. I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
I remember seeing a video years ago, not for drone racing. It was like drone motocross catching.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing? Did you see?
No.
They released the drone. The drone races along the motocross track, and guys on their fucking dirt bikes are chasing it.
Chase them
with a fucking butterfly net in their hand.
That's funny.
Right. So they're hitting the ramps and trying to butterfly net the drone.
Hey, maybe someone in the chat, if there's still people watching and chatting, can you guys hear the game at all?
Oh,
or is it they can't, eh?
I can't. So I assume they can't.
You're not watching it on YouTube.
I have it on YouTube. If I turn it on, hold on, let me turn off my mic and I'll turn on.
I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change it so you guys can actually hear it.
Oh no, I heard that. Electric.
Oh, you can hear it. Oh, good. Because yesterday I was rewatching it. I couldn't hear any of it. I could only hear it like what my mic is picking up, basically.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
Yeah, so it's probably what my mic is picking up then.
See, because if you're using OBS, you should be able to turn on desktop audio.
That's what I thought I was going to do. You know what? Let me just give me a sec here.
Right. So your mic will be separate and will override the desktop, like for your voice.
Yeah. So if I go to my settings and I go to my audio, speaker right now is my headset. But if I change it to speakers connection smart audio, which is just my speakers.
Oh, because you're not using OBS. That's why. So yeah, I don't know how much StreamYards is
If I
going
put
to
it to,
help.
but then can I say something, Irving?
I hear you now.
Well, I can hear you, but I'm hearing it through my speakers.
Okay.
Can you hear me through my mic? Can you hear me through my mic?
I guess so.
This might be the only way for you guys to hear it if I change the speaker settings to a desktop. But it just sounds weird to me because I'm not hearing you through my headset. I'm hearing you from my computer. And my concern is if I switch to full game, will I stop hearing you?
Give it a try. I'll keep talking.
Okay.
I'll just do the whole Adam Skelly and the Noble Toys guys are great. As long as you don't die of COVID, you can kill yourself, and no one in Canada cares. We'll even taxpayer funded. It's fine.
All right, I'm going to try going full screen, and you keep talking, Irving, and I'll see if I can hear you.
Let's do it. Doug Ford is the great betrayer. I can't imagine like how badly this went for us and how he honestly, he seems so terrified in his press conferences that I don't think he's actually betrayed us. I think he's as tricked as everybody else. I think it's a fucking travesty what's become of this man who was supposed to be our strong conservative leader.
He's a Hydra stooge, just like Justin Trudeau.
See, no, Trudeau is an evil man. I think
no, he's too stupid to be evil. He's just a Hydra stooge.
I don't think you can be too stupid to be evil. You can be both. He thinks he has some kind of power in this new world order that Klaus Schwab and the others are. But yeah, no, he's definitely a stooge. But he wants it this way. He wants that power. He's just not.
Yeah, but you know what? And here's the thing: he wouldn't define himself as evil, but then neither would Darth Vader, right? He's basically he thinks what he's doing is going to be good, but he lacks the I don't know contextual understanding of history. Come to the realization that it's not going to be good.
I've been powwowing this idea. Maybe I'll. If you'll allow me, I'll run through it here.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool. And can you hear the game now, chat? Can you hear more of the game?
A little bit, yeah. There's some electric buzzing sounds when you take out a drone and stuff. Not a lot of bass on that kick, though.
I wonder if it's even helping. I mean, I'm hearing through my computer. I'm not hearing it through my headset. And my hope was that it was drawing the audio from this so that you guys would be able to hear the game better.
Like I said, a little. But it's more like the high-pitched drone electric whining sounds are coming through. Any of the lower bassy stuff is not.
And that's kind of weird because I'm hearing the game through my headset, but I'm hearing the chat through my desktop audio, which is so weird.
See, OBS is going to be the best bet for streaming something like this.
But I'm such a boomer, I can't use OBS.
Now I'm trying to figure out how to combine OBS and StreamYards, which would be neat if I could make that work. I'm sure there's a way. I just don't really take a lot of time or put a lot of effort into it. But this whole idea that Justin Trudeau doesn't define himself as evil, right?
No, he doesn't. He thinks he's a magnanimous, decent person, but he's really just a spoiled
trust
fund baby who thinks that he's better than everybody because his mom and his dad probably told him he's part of the elite and he's better than everybody, and that it's up to him to steward the unwashed masses into utopia. I'm sure Pierre felt the same way. Pierre was, the ideology by father and son is not that too far apart. Where are you going, you coward? Get back here.
See, but even the unwashed masses of liberals, the left wing people, they don't see what they're doing as evil, and
No, they don't. As a matter of fact, they view anybody who wants to, hang on to their own liberty, or thinks that Canadian values are something worth preserving, or Western values, I should say. They're evil. They're actually Nazis.
well, yeah, and I mean, I've been powwowing this idea here. Bear with me a second, if you will. These people on the left love to say that their ideas, these things they want, are good, and it's for your good. It's for a greater good. It's for the good of all. But if that were true, then they would actually analyze the things they want in practice and determine whether or not they were good. Like things like affordable housing, what we call universal health care, and subsidized education, right? Post-secondary education. If you look at affordable housing, it exists. It exists everywhere. And colloquially, we refer to them as projects, and they tend to be crime-ridden shitholes. So they're not actually good, but they don't care about that. Universal healthcare. Our healthcare in Canada is like, it's not terrible. It's mediocre, but it costs way too much for what it is. And if you take a mediocre thing and apply a massive price tag to it, it's no longer mediocre. It's bad.
Right.
So again, another thing, just not good. Subsidized post-secondary education. Well, apparently that's led to huge hikes in the cost of it that still leaves people in massive debt after getting a degree in things like gender studies, feminist.
That's the U.S., the situation in the U.S. Because basically the government is they're going to guarantee student loans. And then the university is like, well, we can just charge whatever tuition we want then.
Yep. And, well, we did the same thing here. You can't default on your loan, right?
That's ridiculous.
So
but why ever repay it? I mean, I guess it affects your credit rating.
Yeah. But again, right, you end up with a degree in critical race theory that doesn't aid you in getting some kind of lucrative job except teaching critical race theory or being a professional activist. This is not a good thing.
No.
So clearly, even though they think it's for your good, the greater good, the good of some other person than themselves, it's not. It's just something they like. It makes them feel good to be supporting it. And they'll happily force you and others to do this thing that those others don't want to do without their consent because it makes them feel good, because they want it. And that is the exact same mindset as a fucking rapist. But the rapist doesn't have the temerity to look at the person who doesn't want to be raped and say, well, that makes you a bigot.
That's one way of looking at it. It's true. You don't want me to rape you, then you're evil.
Yes, yeah. That makes you're selfish.
Yeah.
And a Nazi.
The hot take, man.
You know what? I heard that a lot in the days that I've been powwowing this. No one's bothered to refute it. No one's bothered to argue. Okay? They just say, wow, that's not right, and walk away disgusted with me.
I'm not saying it's not right. I'm just saying that's a hot take.
Hey, like, I could be wrong. I might be crazy, but no one's convinced me otherwise yet. Taking all comers with this one.
Yeah. Well, I've often said that, the people who scream the most about racism and accusing people of racism are probably the ones who are the most racist.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I saw that thing that you had retweeted about.
The tweet, yeah. It wasn't actual Reason Mag. It was like a mockery of Reason Mag.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, pretty sure if you're saying that if you have to go out of your way to say you're not racist, you're probably racist. And if you insist that you're anti-racist, you're definitely racist. Okay, so I got a couple of enhancements here.
And like zoom in on this chick because this chick looks like super fucking Canadian.
Yeah, her name's
Like
Shavra Gavra Party. I don't know.
fit
She's part of Freedom. She's part of Freedom Corp.
some sexy boots.
Say boots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, yeah, no, she's perky, but it's the boots that are working for me.
Yeah. Reduce endurance costs. I'll put that on sprint. And then I will combine that with that. There we go. How's my salvage looking? Ooh, I got a heads-up display. That's rare salvage. I bet you I could go and sell that for a couple of thousand.
But can't you use salvage to craft?
I can, but right now I haven't even hit the mission point where you're crafting yet. So this kind of stuff is just, I may as well get the money. So you know what? I'm going to go back to the shiny, happy place that is Atlas Park. See what's going on there. Well, all my missions are going to be here, but whatever. And then I'm going to go to Wentworth's, which is the auction house.
Oh, and we talked about blog.to the other day.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook someone had posted a blog.to post. Here's 10 other GoFundMe's that you can back instead of Adamson Barbecue.
Adamson Barbecue?
Yeah. Like,
but I want to back Adamson Barbecue.
I know, right? But like that's what I mean is maybe they're a little more open and they do let people support guys like Adam Skelly and Adamson's Barbecue and stuff. But generally speaking, blog.to is pretty
left. Yeah, I mean most media is left at this point anyway. But did you see the Did you see? Oh, you hear me?
Yes, I got you back now. Okay.
Did you see Adam Skelly made a statement to Global News, I think, regarding his bail release? And basically he was there for 30 hours and the premier or the office of the Ontario government, I don't know if it was the premier himself, the office of the Ontario government wanted to make a condition of his release that he was not allowed to access social media.
I think they did do that.
I don't know if they were able to. I think that's not constitutional, isn't it?
I have no idea. I mean, our constitution's a farce anyway, but
yeah, true.
I think it is like he can't access it. But if people interview him, talk to him, and put it on their social media, that's not his doing, right?
Yep.
So that's the workaround there. But
all right, let me see.
But yeah, like Styx Hexenhammer was talking about something like this, like that we need like a digital bill of rights because banning people from social media or from the internet is the same as saying you're not allowed to speak in a public place. And you can't do that.
Right. Okay, so these chemical formulas sold for $1,500 today. So if I list it for 1,000, it might sell immediately. Yep, see, it sold.
Wow.
And I got $3,000. All right, so let's go to the Clockwork Gear.
Industrial Rubber says, "Can you say hi, Bab Dash?"
Hi, Bab Dash.
Is that like a thing? Like
I have no idea.
Sagu Fiam.
Hi, Bab Dash. I don't know what it's referring to.
I have no idea.
And that one sold for 1,500. Boom. Daemon program.
Getting that money.
Getting that big cash. I think when I hit level 10, I get a mission that shows me how to craft stuff. Okay, so last time it sold was for 611 space bucks. I'll list it for 700. See what it gets me. And it sold for 1,500. Boom.
Holy shit.
All right, this one could be the big one because this one's quite rare. How much is this
See,
one?
that's why I'm thinking you should sit on it. You should just hold on to it.
No, I can always buy more. It's not a big deal.
All right.
There's a lot of them for sale, which is funny. There's like 18,000 people bidding on them, but there's like over 9 million for sale.
What?
Yeah.
What did it sell for last?
I'm waiting for that to load. It hasn't loaded yet.
Well, if this is rare.
450,000.
Oh my god! Put it up for like 750.
Well, no, I'll put it up for 400,000. I'll get 400. I'll get 450 for it. Post.
You'll get more.
There we go. I got, 450,000 in them in case they take 23,000 for auction fees. It's all right.
Holy shit! 500,000 influence, man.
Yep. All right, so these are selling for next to nothing. I may as well just go sell those.
Human blood samples.
Yeah, these ones are like weak, so I may as well just go sell those at at a vendor because I'll get I think 150 or 250 for them anyway.
The legs on that chick though, holy shit!
Legs for days.
Yeah, and the problem is that like the proportions are all off. Like her shin bone is longer than her thigh bone.
Yeah, but she's in a comic book. She's drawn by Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, serious.
If she was drawn by Rob Liefeld, she wouldn't have feet. This Flambeau character. Look, hon, I'm shopping. Okay, I'm sure there's hero-y things to do, right? She's part of that storyline that I was talking about from before that I didn't really want to do because it's kind of hokey. He's in that group, so. All right, so go buy some. What time are we at? I've started around 10, right? We're at, we're 11:23 already. I'm not going to play for too long tonight. I'm having fun, though. Not going to lie. How many people are watching right now, Irving?
We're down to 3.
Yeah. It's not super exciting. Just be told.
It's super cool. It's just that it is grinding, right? So
yeah, it's a little grindy.
Like I'm hoping a bunch of people left to go start their own characters.
That would be cool. Not gonna lie, that would be cool. All right, let me take a look and see what I need. I'm gonna upgrade these 2 and these 3. So 1, 2, 3. That's actually, which one's that? Is that resist damage, defense buff, defense buff, defense buff, defense buff? Okay, so I'm gonna get 3 defense buffs. No, 2 defense buffs and a resist damage, and 2 accuracies. I wonder if I should buy. You know what? I might buy single origin instead of dual origin if they sell them here.
I don't know these words. Like I know them individually.
So basically, this one here. So this is a science and technology, or no, sorry, natural technology. That's so people with a natural origin or a technological origin can use these ones. This one is just for people who have natural, so they buff a little bit better.
I see.
So I'll get 2 of those because I got money for days. And
yeah, you're fucking rich, dude.
Yeah.
In Canadian terms, you're a 1%er.
And where's my damage resistance? There it is. Resist damage.
Oh, Six is here, swinging by to say hi.
Hey, Six. Good to hear from you.
Stream Shield.
Oh, I don't think I can combine it. No, I can't. I got to replace it. Well, you know what? Hold on. I'll do that. I can't do that. I can't combine those yet either. All right. Well, that's fine.
See, so this is not crafting. This is
Nah, this is just boosting your dude. I can't replace those. I really don't want to kill those. It's kind of weak. Can I?
you guys take it easy and liberate another Tim Hortons.
Thanks, Six.
You got it, Sixie.
I guess because I'm only level 7, I can't upgrade these level 10s yet. I'm going to have to hang on to them. Okay, well, I will hang on to them. I shouldn't have bought those just yet. And you can't combine a 10 with a 5? Why can't I combine a 10 with a 5? Oh, because it's
maybe
10.
You just can't do it now.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to have to get to level 8, I think, before I can do anything else. So, I'm almost there. Let's get some stuff up.
Hey, isn't that the same chick from the other?
Oh, she's got blue hair and blue skin. She's got the same boots. Oh no, her boots are slightly different.
But it's largely the same outfit.
Yeah, different hair though.
I guess.
Yeah, they're part of this group called Freedom Corps. They're like a superhero group that basically sells shit. That's the whole thing.
It's like a uniform then. Okay.
Yeah, it's their uniform. Yeah.
I see.
Costume contest going on? No, just people hanging out. Doing a Michael Jackson dance.
Dancing, yeah. In her booty shorts.
Take off, hoser. Yeah, I kind of like that shield, that energy shield. I think that's kind of cool looking, but you can't put a logo on it.
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Because imagine that maple leaf just emanated from the center like that. Expanded
cool.
over it. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, I'm not going to lie.
Pardon me. It's very polite.
Oh.
Are we sure she's not Canadian?
I'm either going to get reconnected or get kicked out.
Lost connection to map server.
Yep. Yep. I'm either gonna. It's probably gonna kick me back to the login screen.
I see.
I'm just gonna wait because it might reconnect, but you know what? Let me get out of this, and I'll come back to the stream. Otherwise, how you been, Irving? What else is going on with you?
Yeah, everything's moving smoothly, slowly forward.
Yeah.
To the inevitability of death and tyranny.
Thanks for streaming the or thanks for shilling the stream, Six. But I think I'm probably gonna end it soon anyway. But yeah, I had a lot of fun last night. It was cool, and so I want to see these comments here. Robert Craig.
I think I got them all.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I wanted to read through them.
Yeah.
Who said, has Craig lost his GM powers? That's my buddy, Joe. Yeah, they've been saying, we want to play Mutants and Masterminds again. I should do it. I should run it again. Because we had a really cool storyline going. basically, I'll give you a bit quick rundown. So I was GMing this story where these two brothers and their cousin, right? They were getting together for a weekend bachelor party fishing trip up in like northern Ontario. So I said it in Canada, right? So we got Artemis Powers, Max Powers, and Benedict Powers. That was their names, right? They pick up this hitchhiker who turns out to be some sort of weird alien, and he abducts their car while they're driving. He uses his like alien powers to like levitate the car over to the woods where this meteorite falls. In terms of the meteorite, it's a piece of alien technology, and it gives them all superpowers. Essentially, long story short. So, Artemis Powers, which is Fox Cantor, his character, and I gave them random heroes. So basically, I rolled randomly in this table to create these heroes, and then I said on the first day of the game, I said, okay, give me a number between 1 and 6 or whatever, right? And he's like, I'll take 3, and I had them randomized. So I said, okay, here you go. And so Artemis Powers is this dude who got turned into this anthropomorphic fox man with chameleonic fur and insane super strength.
Decent.
Max Powers, he actually had this piece of metal from the technology embedded in his chest that he could control to become this sort of liquid metal skin, and it would allow him to fly around, gave him super strength and all sorts of stuff. And he was basically really resistant. Benedict Powers, who my buddy Nick played, his guy got shot in the head by government agents, by secret government agents, but he'd already been infected with the nanites or whatever it is that gives these powers, and he ended up turning into this sort of like zombie man. They go into the morgue and they say, "Is this your friend?" "Yeah, that's our friend." And then he gets up, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And he becomes super strong, very resistant to harm. I think he was immune to bullets. He had bullet immunity. Basically, bullets just sort of like embedded themselves in his skin, but they didn't hurt him. And and so basically the whole thing was all about them. The first few sessions was all about them avoiding getting taken in by the government, and then eventually they became agents of the government working for the RCMP. And then we had these friends who were American, Katie and Darren. They were like, "Oh, we want to play too," and I'm like, "Absolutely!" Or actually, I think my buddy Jay, he said, "Hey, we should bring Katie and Darren in," and Katie was all for it. Our buddy Darren's not really big into role playing, but he really liked this game. So for his character, I made his character this guy called True North, who was a former RCMP agent. He was Special Constable David Vonnegut was his character's name, and they gave him like a very patriotic looking suit and this high tech gun that had a whole bunch of different like settings on it. And then Katie's character was Karen Wycroft, and she was a U.S. medical student who escaped to Canada because she got her powers when she was examining a corpse that was also infected by the same alien technology, but from a different meteorite. And she got these psychic powers, so a typical Jean Grey kind of thing.
Okay.
So anyway, they eventually meet up at a strip bar in Niagara Falls, and they all start working together. And so they've been like superheroes ever since, kind of thing.
Awesome.
And, it was a really cool little campaign. And I left them kind of at a cliffhanger. So what happened in the cliffhanger? And if Nick and Joe are still like listening, they'll know what's going on. This will be a refresher because it's been like I think like a year since we played. So Nick's character, who's English because Nick is English, Benedict Powers, he's the zombie guy. He ended up going through this secondary mutation where instead of being a zombie, he turned into this like really super strong, very hardy kind of like elegant vampire type of guy. So he now gets his strength and rejuvenates by drawing blood from people, which is again all part of the alien technology, but it fits. I have a backstory in mind of how it works. But he turned into this like really like classic elegant vampire where he's got this he looks like a Roman statue. His skin is like like white marble, and he's like, he walks around with his shirt off and all this, right? Anyway, so he gets apprehended because when this transformation happened, he went a little nuts and started like sucking the blood of some criminals, and the British government says, okay, he's being extradited to the UK because he's one of our citizens, and he's an asset we can't afford to lose. So what ends up happening is he gets abducted by this scientist who's researching superhumans up in Swastika, Ontario. He has a secret facility in Swastika, Ontario, which is a real place, by the way. And so they've gone up to try and find it. They figured out where he went, and they basically tailed the scientist's goons, and they found the facility. And when I left it, they had just busted into the facility, and it was about to get ugly, but the game was running long, and I said, okay, probably now is a good time to call before we get into the big brouhaha, and we haven't played since. So I should bring them back in, and we should play. Problem is, we'd have to do it online because people are very wary about getting together. I have no problem people coming over to my house and playing. I have my buddy Justin. He comes over every couple of weeks, and we play a Cortex game that my other friend is playing or running. So
that's illegal.
Fuck him. I'm gonna be Adam Skelly and stand up to the government. So yeah, I have no problem playing in person. I should see if they want to do that because I prefer to play in person. It's okay playing online, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oh, is there new comments?
Yeah.
Vampire, zombies, psychics, aliens. Yeah, that's RCMP. that's just
sounds
like St. Craig. Pretty much. You're not wrong, Justin. It's true. It was. I mean, it makes a lot more sense when you were playing it than me telling you a quick synopsis of it. But it was a cool little campaign we were running, and I really need to get back into it. To be fair, the last time we played in person, it was still legal. That's true. Actually, I think Burlington we're still okay. Both Justin and my buddy James, who I think is on here as, I can't remember what his name is. Anyway, they're in Burlington with me, so it's not far. And Burlington's still on lockdown, like Peel region and stuff. So, anything you want to add? Smiler, I think that's right. Smiler, that's his character's name. Smiler. Anything you want to add, Irving?
No. I mean, no. I made a character for
City of Heroes
tabletop RPG.
Tabletop.
Yeah, to play with a friend of mine, and I just then have been getting busier and busier and never got back.
Yeah, it's tough. You gotta find the time, and people have to be willing to commit.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't want to. It's that I come home on a Friday and it's like, oh fuck, thank God the week is over, and I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, you've got a hard job though. I mean, working. What?
Sleep.
What's that?
Rather, I want to drink myself to sleep. Like,
speaking of drinking, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, it's Bareface.
Bareface, and what is that? A whiskey?
It is, yeah, Bareface whiskey. This is another properly Canadian-made whiskey, and it is just phenomenal. It's my new go-to.
It's a blended. It's not a single malt or anything like that.
No, I mean we don't have those same rules and restrictions, but they're a small distillery, so I can't imagine that it's like super
fancy
blended in the terms that they call blended scotches in Scotland. But it's not a straight rye either, right? It's just they've done a great job here with the finishing. It's 3 different kinds of casks and aging it for 7 years.
Oh wow!
So it like aged 7 years and still being under $40 a bottle is pretty good. And I wish I hadn't emptied it tonight, because then I could show you the color of this fucking thing. It's so amber.
like honey.
No, it's darker than that.
Yeah.
It's almost red.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, because they use, I think it's a old sherry casks. It's
Cool.
one of the finishes, and then the last is brand new Hungarian oak for that bourbon spiciness.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, look, Canadians talking about booze. What a surprise, says Pox
Hello,
Toxic.
Pox. We were just talking about you. Pox is the gent who helped me create this character that I have yet to play because I've just been fucking busy. I'm sorry.
What game is it that Pox was looking to run?
Shadowrun, and he's not looking to run it. He runs them. He's got a team of people that run their games. He runs his games on the side.
Yeah.
And he wants to get me into a one shot so that I can get a feel for it. And if it's any good, maybe I'll graduate into a larger paradigm in the Shadowrun world.
Shadowrun's a great environment. Think, if you know anything about it, and if you're a viewer and you don't know anything about it, it's basically cyberpunk meets Dungeons and Dragons. So there's orcs, trolls, elves, dwarves, magic, but there's also super high tech and like seedy underbelly of of corporations and sort of stuff, things like that. But I like the setting of Shadowrun. I would probably convert it to play in Cortex, like we were talking, because I think the rule system for Shadowrun is a little crunchy, and the rule book itself reads like stereo instructions. You're flipping back and forth constantly while you're trying to learn to play the game. It's a lot of dice. It uses all D6s, and it uses piles of them. D6s, right? I think it's D6s. Holy shit, Craig! Actually, no Shadowrun. That's a legit surprise. What are you talking about? I'm a big nerd gamer. But we were just talking about Mutants or Masterminds a few minutes ago, and my old campaign that I need to restart. I like Shadowrun as a setting,
but the system.
I find the system for me is a little too crunchy. I like things that are a little bit more rules light. That's just me, though.
Something I noticed immediately reading some of the terms and like the glossary of like commonly used terms in the Shadowrun world. Canadians were involved in its creation.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Canadian slang that gets snuck in there.
Probably
slang, yeah. And that was pretty fun. So I'm actually like I'd really like to play it. I just have not had the opportunity.
That's cool, man. If you get a chance, I think you probably enjoy it. What kind of character did you make, just out of curiosity?
A technomancer.
A technomancer. Okay, so like a I think they call them deckers.
No.
Oh, did they change them?
No. The decker is the decker. He uses a computer. I'm a technomancer. For whatever reason, I can psychically link to the system.
Oh, that's even cooler.
To do without a deck.
That's
and that
cool.
Makes me some weird fucking hybrid mutant that they want to study because they don't know how it works yet. So that's like more dangerous.
That's cool. FASA was a Leaf company, if I recall correctly. Yeah, FASA was based in Canada, I believe. FASA was the original people who made Shadowrun.
There you go.
Yeah, see, when I played, I mean, the newest edition, I think, had Technomancers. It also had emergent AI, because you got to consider when Shadowrun was first made, it was back in like the 90s. So it was before the internet was really a big thing, right? And so now most of the stuff that was in Shadowrun is actually now modern technology. I mean, not all of it. There aren't like people jacking into computers with their heads and stuff. But I mean, a lot of the stuff that we do now, that we have available now, was basically part of the fiction and part of the world in Shadowrun back in the 90s. So they had to sort of amp it up in terms of the advancement of technology. So yeah, they had technomancers, emergent AI living on the net, and yeah, it's a pretty cool game world.
Yeah, no, it seems it. Just
Technomancers were introduced in 4E before then. They were known as otaku and super rare. Super rare otaku. Isn't otaku Japanese for like nerd?
Yeah. Otaku is the Japanese word for weeb.
Weeb, there you go. Hack the planet, says Cro-Magnon. I'm trying to figure out what his avatar is. Looks like a I don't know. It looks like a Dragon Ball Z character with a
Yes,
weird Japanese character's face on it.
it's Vegeta with a bowl cut and a stupid mustache.
That's funny.
But I come from the Palladium universe, right?
Palladium
So
was cool for making characters, but the game itself was a little bit like the game running was a little bit clunky.
see,
Making characters was a lot of fun in Palladium. I used to love making characters in Palladium.
not fantasy, but the whole Megaverse, like Rifts,
Yeah, yeah.
TMNT, just in Super Spies, right?
TMNT and Other Strangeness was an awesome game.
Oh yeah,
Awesome game. I remember making characters for it. Bushido Beavers of Banff, Alberta. So they were
fuck.
they were basically like samurai beavers. They had the big like baggy gi pants, and they carried samurai swords, and they had like the little knot tops on the top of their head. But they also had these big fucking beaver tails.
But see, that system, while complicated, it made a sense to me.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, you had a
And
ton of options, and it was fun making characters.
yeah, and but that's what I know. So I'm not nearly as familiar with Shadowrun. Like it makes very little sense to me generally.
Yeah, well,
But
you know what? As long as the GM knows the system, you're good because it'll just tell you how many dice to roll, and eventually you'll pick up what skills combine with what abilities and that sort of thing. I always found the magic in Shadowrun a little bit too mechanical and not sort of like wooby enough. You basically had Power Ball and Mana Ball, and you had Power Shield and Mana Shield and stuff like that. One would stop. One would stop like, living matter and psychic attacks and physical attacks, and one would stop physical stuff like inanimate stuff. At least that's when I played Shadowrun back in college. They may have changed that in the recent editions. I don't know.
yeah,
But
from what I was reading while building my character, it seems like they greatly expanded on that.
but again, and Cro-Magnon will agree with this. Shadowrun would be so easy to convert in Cortex. Cortex is a really neat system. I don't know if Pox Toxic's familiar with Cortex, but it's a really nice sort of like plug and play system like GURPS or like Fate or what have you. But it's got enough sort of meat that makes the game kind of make sense, but it's still rules light enough that it makes things move really quickly in the game.
He's looking it up now. He says,
Oh, okay. Fate for me is just a little too open-ended and so open for interpretation. And there's really just not enough rules in it to make it feel like it's a full-on game. GURPS I never played, but I know that it's essentially the same sort of system. But it's a type of sort of plug-and-play rule system. And it's very popular too. I think wasn't GURPS kind of like a Palladium kind of sort of game, or maybe I might be wrong. I know Rifts was essentially their Cortex is love, Cortex is life, says Cro-Magnon. Yeah, my buddy James and Justin are big proponents of Cortex, and I'm inclined to agree. It's pretty cool. I have the rule book now. I'm working on my own sort of campaign setting, which is essentially modern 20th century or 21st century Earth, where elves and dwarves and orcs and everything sort of came back, like they're here now, and how that upset everything, and how the world's completely different. And the elves, it's kind of like Bright in that sort of the elves are the elites of society, and everybody else is sort of like lower tier. If I recall, GURPS was just generic D20 system. Maybe, yeah, it very well might have been. I never played it. And very little has to be adapted or changed. It's totally modular. It's true.
see, now Pox had told me about a game called, I think it was Monster of the Week. And everything was 2d6.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too.
Yeah.
There's like a rules light one called Maze Runners that's like that, where it's just 2d6.
Yeah, where like if you get 9 or higher, it's success. 7 or lower is a failure, and anything in between, the game master just decides what weird thing went wrong, and how you have to try to fix it now, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of 7 or lower is a fail. That's really awful on
Well, I mean,
2d6 because I guess 7's very easy to come by. There's lots of ways to get 7
yeah,
on
it's
2d6.
literally
That's
half.
true. Yeah, yeah, it's like
Literally half. If you play craps, you
yeah,
know these statistics.
so it's the craps RPG.
So you have to get a good roll to be
Yeah.
successful. A better than mediocre roll is, and the GM can be like, okay, so you caught the key, but now you're hanging off the side of the building. So what's next, right? Like, yeah,
That's kind of like Cortex in that you have dice allocated to different stats and different they call them distinctions with regards to your character. So your distinction could be like a personality trait, it could be a professional ability, it could be something to do with your background because of where you grew up, and you'll have a D8 assigned to it, and then you have your stats. Some games when you use Cortex don't have stats; they just have distinctions and other things, and assets, which are like physical things that you possess that give you dice. You roll them. You roll however many dice are part of that pool. You take you take the top 2, I believe, or maybe you drop the lowest. Cro-Magnon can chime in. But any ones you get, the GM can buy from you and give you a plot point, they call it. And they can introduce a complication into the situation. So maybe you succeeded, but you rolled a 1. So that 1 could mean, okay, so you grabbed the ledge, but in so doing, that vase that you were trying to steal from the guy fell and is now hanging on a piece of the of the of the fire escape, and now you're going to have to go get it before you can escape.
right. Yeah. And Pox was saying the monster of the week used the Apocalypse world system, really rules light, heavy on role play.
Yeah.
And but
it seems to be a trend. It seems to be a trend now with RPGs. People want less rules and more just tell me a story, let me get involved, and let's have fun.
Well, like original D&D, right? That there really wasn't much to it,
yeah,
in terms of the rules. But I guess it's not to be not to be mean about it, but that kind of system, the rules based system, will definitely draw autistic people.
Yeah,
who will demand more rules.
Yeah, blame WotC and D&D 5e. See, here's the thing. I like D&D 5e. I think it's an improvement on 4e for sure. I think 3e was probably the best thing they did, 3.5 maybe. But 5e, it's become very mechanical. It's almost a board game with miniatures. You almost can't play it without miniatures. Give me crunch or give me death, says Pox Toxic. I don't like crunch. I mean, it's okay if that's the kind of game you want to play. D&D was originally when designed by Gary Gygax was for a game he called Chainmail, which was basically just a battle game on top of a table. You had it was like a war game. They did like little, how back in the day people had Civil War miniatures or Revolutionary War miniatures, and they played on a tabletop using. Sometimes they flipped coins. They didn't even roll dice; they just flipped coins, and that's what Chainmail was. They introduced the ideas of sorcery and different races and things like that. And then D&D came out of that and was supposed to be more role-playing, but it ended up being a very, table-heavy game. The second edition even added war tables. And then third edition kind of streamlined it and made things make a lot more sense. And now fifth edition has turned it back in a little bit more table-heavy and rule-heavy. But to each his own. I like 5e, don't get me wrong. It's very logical. A lot of it makes a lot of sense.
Well,
but
D&D second edition is basically where it peaked, and everything after that is bastardization of it.
I think 3e was better than 2e, to be honest. I think 3e was an improvement over 2e.
Cro-Magnon says, I don't want to spend more time hashing out numbers than we do progressing the story. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And something that I learned playing when I was younger was that when the game master rolls the dice, everybody should shut up and lean forward and stare at the table, waiting for the results of everyone should go and wait. Like, it should be important. It should mean something. You shouldn't just be rolling dice to roll dice to pass to pass what's happening right now. It should be like on the edge of your seat, needing to know the outcome. And that's what makes a good game master, really, right? Because you can all this like rules light, rules heavy, dice. No. If you have a good game master and some players that are in it, you don't need dice. Like, you hardly ever touch the dice.
Well, combat's a big part of D&D because there's always going to be a battle. But the problem is that with D&D 5th edition and other editions previous, like 4th edition, combat took up so much of the game that the story didn't progress. It's basically, okay, you come to a room, it's full of goblins. And essentially what it comes down to is here's a pile of hit points. Now let's compare your pile of hit points to their pile of hit points, and we'll roll dice to see whose pile of hit points runs out quicker.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it comes down to, right? But there's a YouTube channel called the DM's Craft. DM's Craft? Or what the hell's the guy's name? He's called Professor Dungeon Master. That's what he calls himself. I'm trying to remember the name of his channel. Anyway, he's really into the old school revolution for D&D.
Right.
Let's see if I can find him here. Dungeon Craft, that's what it's called. Dungeon Craft. And he basically made a really good argument for eliminating things like initiative. Basically, the DM says who's going when, and he does it based on, how people are seated around the table. And he didn't come up with this, but he says it doesn't make sense really to roll a d20 to see who's going to roll a d20 first. Just roll your d20, and the people who rolled the highest are going first. Simple as that. And it goes in order from that. Or he does it. He asks everybody, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? The range guy, the spellcaster, they're going to act before anybody else.
Right.
And if their die roll is higher than who it is they're attacking, their attack goes off, and the person they're attacking, if they die, they don't get to attack. Because they didn't hit because basically their attack roll is also their initiative roll. I'm like, that makes so much sense. Because it never really made sense to me to let's roll to see who's going to roll first.
See, and I'm for it in the case of a good dungeon master, game master, right? That these guys are see, Cro-Magnon Cortex, the last player that went decides who goes next. I don't know if I like that. But basically, the DM decides the order. Pox, yeah, I'm for that, right? Because a good dungeon master is going to say, okay, look, you've got a ranged weapon and you're 50 feet away. You go first. But this other guy who's got super speed, well, he obviously has to go next, right? Like, if they care about their game and their players and they've got it mapped out already, then they're going to know, and you don't need to roll for initiative. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just combining the attack roll with the initiative roll, I think makes sense. Cro-Magnon says, Cortex, bruh, no initiative. The last player that went decides who goes next. So that's actually a good system too. So it is. The GM says, okay, here's the scene. There's a robot in front of you. He's charging at you. He's about 100 feet away. He'll say, okay, so your dude is a lumbering beast, and your dude is a quick-witted elf. You're going to go first, and then you're going to decide who's going to go next. So he may say, you know what, let the big robot go next, because I want so-and-so to get, it might be tactically better for my comrade to go after this guy attacks.
Maybe.
But no, I kind of like that system too. It puts a little bit more control. It's more, as they call it, player facing, because the players have more of a decision on what's unfolding on the table, as opposed to the DM just saying, all right, number 14 goes next. Who's 14? Oh, that would be the monster. But wait, I rolled 14 too. Oh, who's got the higher dex? It's the same. Oh, roll off to see who's going first. Like, that doesn't really make any sense. It should be cinematic. It should be quick. But
yeah, you're basically setting the stage for why the president should be allowed to make executive orders.
We're going to go back to politics, huh?
No,
So we were out to dinner yesterday, right? Totally unrelated, but we were out to dinner yesterday, and my nephew, who's like 16, 15 or 16, he comes up to me. I think he's 16 now. He says to me, so when President Trump lost, I'm like, who said he lost? It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, listen, it's not over yet. The things are being decided in the courts. So if you think that Joe Biden's going to be president definitively, I would say wait, because that might not happen. I might be wrong, but GOP is racking up wins in court, and basically Pennsylvania is essentially saying at this point, you know what, the way you guys handled mail-in ballots, the way you arrived at that new regulation, completely unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So they're basically, we'll see what happens in Pennsylvania now. If he can do Wisconsin and Georgia and bring enough doubt into those, then it could come down to the legislature putting Trump back in office. And I think you're right. That's probably the wrong way for it to go. But that's the way the Constitution made it. So, but Democrats hate the Constitution anyway. All right. What does Cro-Magnon say? Whomever goes first is dictated by the logic of the scene. So if someone with super speed is there, he's logically going first. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It shouldn't just be about her. Because, I mean, I've had Mutants and Masterminds games where they use initiative, and a guy with super speed rolls really shitty, and even though he's adding plus 15 or whatever to his initiative roll, he might still be going slower than the big lumbering brute. If the big lumbering brute rolls really well. So
see, and that's also like another element of random chance that makes the game interesting. Like, oh my god, the lumbering brute in that one moment, by some luck of the draw, got the drop on the guy with super speed.
Right, and you have to justify it in your brain TV. I get it, but again, the difference is between the GM making the story and having it fit in everybody's brain TV, make logical sense, the way he describes and the way he manages combat, and making it player facing, so the players help come up with a decision on what makes the most sense and how things should logically play out. It may not be as dramatic in some instances, but I guess because players are that much more in control, I think they're more engaged about it. I don't know. It's a trade-off, I guess. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. It's just us talking.
To say you can make that make sense, right? Super speed guy tripped, or got a reflection of light in the eye, something like that, right?
Yeah. Or he was just so, you could just say, in a situation like that, because the brute goes first, the big lumbering brute is so massive that the super speed guy actually hesitated because he was like so taken aback by how big and massive this thing was. Excuse me. Pepsi went down the wrong tube. Anyway, coming up on 2 hours. Not all of that was City of Heroes gameplay, but I had some fun while we were doing it. I got kicked from the server, and it's been cool, excuse me, discussing this gameplay stuff. If you are getting into RP, like role-playing tabletop, Irving, you know what? I'd love to have you join in, even if I end up doing something remote. We could do a tabletop RPG through, Google Hangouts or what have you, Roll20, what have you.
And I'd love to tell you, I'll be there, and I really would like to, but I mean, ask Pox. I have not made it back in, is it like 5 weeks now? Longer? I'm sorry. I'm
well, what'll happen is if I decide to do something like remote access like this, like live streaming or what have you, or Google Hangouts, like a remote game, I will send you a message saying, hey, doing it on such and such a date. If you're free, feel free to join. I've got a ready-made character for you to play.
These guys are running weekly, every week, as far as I know.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Fridays they have their group game. Saturdays I think Pox runs one-offs. I haven't been able to make it. And then tonight, what did I do?
Pox Toxic, DM me, nigga, and play some tabletop with me. Yeah, for sure, Pox. That would be cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. But I think I'm going to call it. It's been over 2 hours for this stream, and I've had a lot of fun. And I appreciate you all coming by and making snarky comments and watching while I played City of Heroes with Canada Man. I'm not going to log back in. My server's probably back up connected again, but I'm not going to bother. But you all take care and stay safe out there. Wash your penis.
Thanks for having me, homie.
No problem. What do you say?
Hail Sigmar.
That's right. Good night, all. Thanks a lot.